What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here from the Big Rich Live on the Mic Radio Show. Welcome to this installment of What's the Real Deal? Another week is gone. Let me tell you something. I know I've said this a couple of times, but this year, 2017, is flying. I mean, we'll be in July in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So, again, well wishes. Wish you guys all the best. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know I did. You know, just keep striving. Keep striving to be the best person that you possibly can. Remember, we here each one teach one on this platform, but we also say that, you know, you should strive to make a positive impact on somebody's life every day. You know, even if it's your own life, you should always try to make a positive impact on somebody's life. So, again, here's What's the Real Deal. It's still raining down here in Florida every dang on day. So it's kind of putting a damper on everything else that we wanted to do and other genres. Did I just say genres? Anyway, just whatever, and other avenues. So, we're going to get right to that. We actually have two stories. I was going to start with just one story because I just love to just roast this clown. But there was also another story that came up that is a personal. Like, it affected me personally. So I'm going to sort of break the show because, you know, we usually have one subject and we roll through. And the Bill Cosby, I know for everybody who wants to discuss the Bill Cosby hung jury and the officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota got acquitted of all counts. We'll talk about that tomorrow. You know, right now, I don't want to say anything that I'm going to regret. I have no bosses, so I'm not worried about pissing somebody off. I mean, but it's just I want to digest the whole thing, you know, come off some anger and just, you know, you'll never hear me say, you know what? You could never say never. But if I got anything to say about it, you'll never hear me say, oh, this brought me to tears, especially when it's dealing with race. If it's dealing with racism, bigotry, white supremacy, that type of stuff right there, I expect it. That doesn't mean that it doesn't upset you, but I expect it. Put it like this, I am surprised, almost to the form of shocked, when the system works the way it's written to be. Not the way, because the justice system works out exactly how certain people want it to do. It works out perfectly. But if you read the words and you go word by word and you try to say, okay, or you try to think what was the premise behind this passage or this amendment or this line within the Constitution, then you would be like, this has yet to work like it's supposed to work for people, or let's just say non-white people. This is pretty much it. But I'm not going to get into that. Like I said, you know, I'll deal with that, you know, tomorrow for the Big Rich Live on the Mic Saturday show. So this one we're going to talk about my favorite coon, Steve Big Lip Harvey. For those who just came to this channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. You know, before I we went live on air and we started taping, right? I went and I looked at, I got a notification, put it like that. I got a notification from blackspot.com, and they had featured one of our shows. Actually, it was the last show, it was a Hump Day show, and we talked about my thoughts on the White House visit of the Golden State Warriors, which we'll talk about that again tomorrow because allegedly a statement has come out that they're not going to go. So we'll talk about that tomorrow on tomorrow's show also. So you know what's going to happen on tomorrow's show. Okay, we're going to talk about Bill Cosby. We're going to talk about the officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors. If it's true, I need to make sure that it's true because something came out something came out the night of the championship win that they weren't going. And then they put out a statement either that night or the next day saying that they haven't made that decision, but it's coming over the airways that they said that they're not going. So we'll talk about that. So hopefully everything will flush itself out and I'll be able to definitively know if this is true, and then we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it tomorrow on What's the Real Deal on Big Rich Live on the mic, our flagship show. That's what's up. Okay, let's get back to Steve Big Lip Coon Ass Harvey. What I was about to say when I said people who are new to this channel or new to these shows, I don't like Steve Harvey. Never have. Never. I've never thought that he was funny, like his stand-up was funny. And my thing is, if you sit me down for an hour and I laugh once or twice, you're not funny to me. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say that every joke that Steve Harvey has ever said was whack and bomb, because that'd be a lie. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is when I went to see him not once but twice for the Kings of Comedy, I'm glad that he was the host and he wasn't somebody who had like a half hour, 45 minutes stand-up show, because he wasn't funny. I do not like him. I do not like him. I don't like his attitude, his arrogance, none of that shit. I don't. I really don't. And I'm not going to really get into why I don't like him, because I've said that in a show maybe 2 months ago. I think I laid it out why I don't particularly care for him. I say that to say this. Every time he fucks up, and there's going to be a few curses, so forgive me. Every time he messes up, I'm going to get in his ass. I'm going to post something. I'm going to bring it up on my shows. If you guys send me something, you know, of him screwing up, I'm going to do that. But then again, I also say, if you guys send me something that he giving $1 million to the Boys and Girls Club or something shit like that, I'll put that on. I'll give a man his props when he's done something. And I'm also going to give him his vitriol when he has done some bullshit. So I'm not going to get into playing his thing, because I don't want these videos to get flagged, copyright infringement, all that old bullshit. So you Google it if you want to. Apparently, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was more so Wednesday, he had a caller from Flint, Michigan that came on his show, his radio show. It was basically giving him the business. You know, now, a lot of people don't know that Steve Harvey is originally from Cleveland, so I guess he's a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and they went back and forth, and he got into his feelings. So he gets into his feelings, and he basically talking trash to this person, talking about, you know, you live in Flint, ha, 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 you know, all of that type of stuff about the Flint water crisis, you know. So he ended it up by saying, yeah, you go ahead on and enjoy you a nice tall glass of brown water. Now, what Steve failed to realize, and I'm not even going to say he failed to realize, because Steve ain't stupid. Steve ignorant. He's ignorant. That's it. You say, I ain't going to say nigga. He's ignorant, but he ain't stupid. Steve Harvey knows that at least 7 people have died already from that water crisis, okay? Steve Harvey knows that to this day, people cannot use that water without a filter, and the majority of their water consumption are from bottled waters. Steve Harvey knows that there are still people now who have liens on their homes because they refuse to pay the water bill for some water they can't use. But yet still he gets into his feelings on his nationally syndicated show, and he want to throw out disparaging remarks, basically saying, because if you drink the water, you're going to get some type of lead poisoning. Steve knows that babies, toddlers, children, young adults will have long-lasting damage to their bodies because they have already consumed enough of that water that has lead in it. And Steve didn't give a damn. Okay? And my thing is, you know, Paul Mooney said something, and I'm not going to repeat it, but not going to repeat it the way he said it. But basically it was, you know, every black and brown man and woman will encounter their end moment. before they die. No matter how high you are, no matter how low you are, you're going to get in some type of trouble, a la Bill Cosby. Because you sit around here, Bill Cosby didn't learn what he was doing. Oh, sorry. Bill Cosby did not make up what he was doing to them women. He learned it from somebody who learned it from somebody who learned it from somebody. You feel me? What I'm saying is they treated him like he was the worst thing since sliced bread. Like Jack the Ripper, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was at one point, especially during my upbringing, he was America's dad. Not America's black dad. He was America's dad. You feel me? And they turned on his ass. So there's going to come a time where Steve Harvey is going to slip up and he going to have to fess up. And then we going to see how it happens. Because see, this is what bothers me about high-priced slaves, high-class Negroes that sell out their communities. Black people held you down, bruh. I said that before. D.L. Hughley says it. Corey Holcomb says it. These are our comedians. Earthquake says it. Bruce says it. They say, hey, when I was on the Chitlin circuit, when I was having to pay people to allow me to get on stage, y'all held me down. People who look like me held me down. So I don't forget them. Now, when you wrong, you wrong. And that's my thing. Y'all know that I come on here, and if there's something wrong, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna tell you. I ain't scared. You know, I'm not scared to be like, hey, that was some bullshit. You follow what I'm saying? But I don't talk down to my people. I don't degrade my people. Remember, I told you I bared my soul how I used to think of low-income people in certain neighborhoods when I was a police officer, younger and early in my career. I've said that. I have nothing to hide. I was caping for what other people who don't look like me made me feel what life was supposed to be. Now, I'm don't get me wrong. I live a very good life. I really do. Very good life, beautiful wife, big home, cars, bank account, all of that type of stuff. So some people will be like, well, Rich, what the hell are you bitching and moaning about? You know, but if one of my people are being put down, set upon, discriminated against, it's my decision. It is my responsibility to weigh in, to do what I can to make sure that this doesn't happen. So Steve Harvey, sitting up there, so far as this taping, no official apology came, but it's coming, because the Flint mayor already penned a letter, and it was on the internet. I haven't seen it. If by the time I get to the rendering part of this, if I can find it, I'll put it up there so you guys can actually see it, but you could probably Google it. And, he was like, he should, it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. He should be made to apologize. And I would be kind of surprised if after a while the higher ups make their house boy apologize. See, because Steve Harvey want to act like he actually arrived. Bro, you ain't arrived. You ain't. Why? Because you still in the same skin you was in when your ass was broke. That's how it is. I live comfortably, but I understand that it's precarious. I understand that everybody can't live like me. And I don't feel that I'm shit. I'm good. But shoot, I don't have the bread, the notoriety, the fame that Steve Harvey has. But even I understand that, there's certain places that you can't go. And that's just ignorant. It's ignorant and it's just stupid. For what? I mean, did that make you feel any better? Did that make you feel better, bruh? Did that make you feel any bigger or better to tell this man who you have no idea what's going on in his family or him personally, for you to sit up there and say, oh, go ahead and enjoy a tall glass of brown water? It's just ignorant. It's just ignorant, and it's narcissistic. And I would, God willing, because see, Steve Harvey is older than I am. So God willing, I'll be around when he take his fall. Because when he take his fall, I'm hoping that the majorities be standing right there with shovels to shovel dirt on his funky ass. That's how I feel. Just ridiculous. So I can't say it, but to hell with you, Steve. I hope you see this video. You probably won't, but that's cool. But you just might. Who knows? Fuck you. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to say it, but that's just pretty much it. Okay. The second subject is, like I said, was personal to me. I was taking photographs today. I have a project to do for the city's parks service, and I was going around the city and I was taking pictures from the east side to the north side to the west side to the south side, whatever. Anybody who knows anything about Orlando, the far east side, I'm talking about Orlando city limits, the far east side is predominantly Hispanic, right? A lot of that is low income Spanish families, you know, low to medium income. Now, if you go further east, like in the county, then that becomes predominantly white again. West side, again, the west side of the city is predominantly black. Most of the larger African-American communities are on the west side. Now, you go further west, that's where the affluent people are, and that's, again, predominantly white. Okay. So I'm going around, and it just dawned on me as I'm leaving downtown, right? I see a Wawa's, right? And gas is $2.15 a gallon. Still high, but okay. It's doing, and I made a mental note. I was like, okay, I got to remember, because I was driving a company car. So I was like, I got to remember when I'm on my way home, I got to go back to this Wawa and I can fill up my tank for next week, $2.15 a gallon. Well, by the time I got to the west side, they have like what I call them gyp joint, you know, like the type of gas stations that's like half delicatessen, you know, has grocery store, that type of stuff, right? And there's 3 of them, right? 2 of them that I'm talking about are on Rio Grande, right? They're on, no, not Rio Grande. I'm sorry. Tampa. They're on Tampa. One's a solo gas station. The other one is like a Citgo, right? They're both ran and operated by Middle Easterns. You know, I don't know if they Pakistani, Afghanistan. I don't know, you know, but okay. The gas over there was $2.50. Now, you remember I just said downtown to early east side, it was $2.15. On the west side, it was $2.50. So I started thinking, I was like, people just don't even know how messed up capitalism is and how people are set upon. When I went to the east side, the far east side of the city, where it was predominantly low and medium income Hispanics, it was $2.29. You know, $2.29, $2.32, right that area. Still, again, what I said, it was now from the far east side to the far east side to the far west side, it might be 20 miles, 20, 25 miles, something like that. It might be. I think I might be overstating it, right? So this is not like I'm going 50 miles from Orlando, and let's say I'm in Winter Park, and the gas is different. This is in the city limits. And I just thought, it just bothered me. I was like, why is it that in the the poorest, let me just use my wording right. The poorest communities, these people come in and they rape you. They rape you. And what's the worst thing about it is where these two gas stations are. If you go a mile east to get to OBT, you save 15 cents a gallon. It's not $2.59. It's not $2.49, which is basically $2.50 because you know it says $2.49, then it has 9.10 on it, right? If you go a mile and a half east from the one, you get to OBT, bend the corner to the right, they selling gas for, like I said, the same, like 15 cents less a gallon. If you go a mile and a half west from the second gas station till you get to John Young Parkway, bend that corner to the right and go up 2 blocks, they selling gas for 17 cents cheaper. So what you trying to tell me is, or what you want me to believe is that your gas costs more than they gas. That's bullshit. I know people in the oil industry. They's like, that's bullshit. All that is markup. So you figure you two are the only one, and I'm not sure, but I was told that both of them like cousins or something like that or whatever, you know, related somehow, right? So what you want me to believe is your gas costs more. That's why for you to get, that's why you charging these people who could barely rob Peter and Paul to survive. But it's cool for you to go ahead on and gouge them like that. And what bothers me the most, I think I had lost my train of thought because I know I said this before, but what bothered me the most about it is these people within the community, these community people, these neighbors, they can shut that thing down without lifting a finger. How you might say that? Don't go. Don't buy your gas there. Buy your gas up the street. Don't go in there and get snacks and candy and a thing of milk. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer, but this just shows you where there's no true representation within these communities. Because if you had leaders within this community, no, we'll go in and say, look, I mean, I don't have any problem with you trying to make bread. Hell, I work every day. But what you need to understand is your gas prices need to be comparable to everybody else's within a 5-mile radius. And if within 2 to 3 cents, and if not, this is what's going to happen. Everybody in this community will not frequent your business, will not buy your gas, will not come in here and get your milk. You know how long it would take for them to change? A week, if that long. If you stop going to that delicatessen, to that gas station, stop buying gas, within a week, one or two things are going to happen. A, they're going to close up. Or B, they're going to capitulate and do the right thing, which is to be comparable. I just could not believe it. The average income in that neighborhood is between $12,000 and $15,000 a year. That's the average income. The average income where I live is anywhere between $78,000 to $150,000, $170,000 a year. And my gas is 23 cents cheaper than they gas. I mean, what is that? Really? I'm just asking. What? I can't be wrong. I can't be the only one that sees that there's an issue. That, you know, this is just not right. Now, do I go in there and say something? No, because A, 1, I was on the clock. 2, I don't live there. It doesn't affect me, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't speak out on it. You know, it doesn't mean that these neighbors need to realize, hey, we control everything. Let me tell you something. A lot of people who talk have these types of shows, right? They'll bring up other minorities, if you will, right? They'll bring up the Asians. They'll bring up the Jewish. They'll bring up the Italians, the Irish. You know what I'm saying? They'll bring them all up. And what they will say is, look at them. They don't even let you open up nothing in their neighborhood. But if you do, you going to kick down to and serve them. If you don't, they're going to shut you down. So these two gas stations feel that comfortable to price gouge gasoline and don't lift and don't blink an eye. Don't lift their head to say peekaboo. Nothing. It's just an outrage. It really is. It's outrageous. And I'm hoping that, you know, somebody who lives in that area might be a subscriber or find out about this video and come up with a committee and just go in there. You don't have to go in there and threaten them. You know, you got to go in there and act ignorant. Just like, look, this is bullshit. Why is your gas $2.49, but 3 blocks north and 1 block west at the BP, it's $2.17. What, BP gas is cheaper than Citgo gas? Really? No. Sorry. Remember, all of them are under OPEC. They all regulate their gas. Why the hell do you think if one gas station goes up to, let's say, $2.50, the other ones don't carry suit? They all in cahoots. They just make us think that they're competitors. They're not competitors. Not in the sense of the word. Yeah, BP wants to make more money than Mobil. I think maybe BP and Mobil is the same. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Texaco wants to beat out Mobil, wants to beat out Citgo. You know, all of that type of stuff. BP, I can understand that. But they get into a room and they be like, okay, what we gonna do? How we gonna make this bread? Okay, cool. This is our parameters. Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and do that. So, you know, that's my views on those two. I hope that somebody, like I said, hears this. Maybe I can see if there's a church in them areas or something like that. Maybe I can get in touch with a pastor and see if I can, you know, sort of nudge him along and see what the deal is. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. And fuck you, Steve Harvey. I said it again. Forgive my cussing. I know I need to stop. You know, Lord ain't through working with me yet, huh? So drop us a line, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share this video on your Facebook platform. Again, I appreciate all the love you guys give us. Thank you so much. We're going to try to keep giving you the best product and content we can. Remember our websites, www.darkshadowmedia.com, www.bigrichliveonthemic.com. This one is what's the real deal 68? Yes, what's the real deal 68 at gmail.com. Hit us on Twitter. What is it? Capital B, capital R, live on the mic. I think I'm going to change that soon, but I'll let you know. Leave a comment down below. Like it if you like it. Dislike it if you don't. Until next time, which will be tomorrow. Be safe. Be blessed. Stay woke always. Please stay woke always. Peace. And I'm out of here.